heavenly joy, and you are in the sacred space of truly heavenly joy. And I thank you all for being here today. And I just want to kind of get a little more vulnerable with you and talk about the challenges around living your truth, because I think I talk about it a little bit, but there's always more. There's always layers to every experience. And while I do it, I'm gonna do my hair because I'm a mom, so I gotta multitask, you know. So one of the things that I found that was difficult for me during my awakening was that I didn't want to make other people feel less than if I was to really stand in my power. You know, there are certain people who looked at me like, oh, well, you know, she's got it together, or she's so this or that, or like she's so spiritual, or she like totally gets this stuff. And I have to say, like, it's interesting how people see you, because it's definitely not how I saw myself. I felt like I was behind, that there was so much more, like I should have been so much further ahead in my life, especially being in my mid-30s. A lot of my friends are in their career already, and my whole entire journey has been based on, you know, finding out the connection, like the spiritual connection. You know, that's been my whole life. And I've worked jobs, yeah. You know, I've had careers, different types of careers. I still have a business, well, a couple businesses. I'm just not as involved. I'm the owner. So I kind of step away from that and focus more on what I really want to do, which is teach spirituality from a very real, implementable, if that's a word, way. Because I think that sometimes we get lost in thinking like, you know, church is separate from you. Your spiritual life is separate from you. Your, I don't know. Like, we just separate the two things, but it's not. You know, any of you who follow me already, you'll see that I write it out. I say it. And the people who I look up to, who I read about, look at this life, this experience as being holy scriptures. You know, like, these are the stories. Different, yeah, because they're modern. These are the stories in the scriptures that they're talking about. We are those stories. You know, are we overcoming different things? Are we having to, you know, sacrifice our own lives or comforts in order to be an example for other people to live better, fuller lives? Yeah, we're doing that all the time. And so it's not separate. But I also want to say that in the struggle to becoming, whatever that means, I also have to battle my own demons, so to speak, my own lower vibrations that tell me that I should be listening to what other people think, and dampen my light, like dim my light a little bit, so I don't make anyone else feel uncomfortable. And that really is a ridiculous thought, but it's a thought that I've battled with for many years. Not standing in my truth enough, like standing in it partially, so not to make other people feel uncomfortable. I'm a very neutral person, and that can make some people feel uncomfortable. Yeah, I have my own ideas. Like, I know I'm a woman of color, and my experience in this country is very different than some of my other friends. And at the same time, that's not their fault, and I don't blame them for that. And I don't mistreat them because of, you know, the hierarchy and all of that, because it's not their fault. So I live from a very unified place. And it doesn't mean that I don't have sadness that kicks in. And, you know, sometimes I'm trying to figure out what is my place and purpose in this country, especially with all the stuff that's going on. But going back to what I am here to explain is that living your truth and living in and standing in your power, there are going to be people who are not going to want to vibe with you, or you're not going to want to vibe with them. And that's all a part of this, you know, becoming and growing. It's like, imagine this. This is something a teacher of mine shared some time ago. Imagine, you know, you get a turtle, right? You buy a little baby turtle, right? The little baby turtle, and you get this little container, this little, whatever you want to call it. You put it in, you take it home, you put it in there. And then the turtle grows to the size of that container. Now you got to take the turtle out of that container and buy a bigger container and put the turtle in that container. And this continues. As long as the environment is bigger, the turtle is going to grow to that environment. It's going to take up that space. We are the same way. We are growing. And so the environment that once used to be able to like contain us and hold us may not be able to anymore. And that's just the reality of it, you know. And it's like there's being unapologetic for your growth. That's something we have to kind of find or give ourselves permission for. Be unapologetic for growing beyond these things that once you thought limited you, and you're so much more than that. I'm so much more than that. So maybe this is something that I just needed to share with a particular person, or maybe many of you needed to hear that. Because honestly, if you stand in your truth and in your purpose, that's my life. If you stand in your truth and in your purpose, you're going to outgrow your environment. You're going to outgrow your friends, and maybe even your family, you know, and that's just the reality. So, as my dog barks, I hope to encourage you all to grow beyond your environment, your social group, so that you can fully live a life that feels free and full. And the only way to do that is to really live our own truth, our own purpose. And hope that encourages you. I'm going to finish my hair so I can do what I need to do for the day. I thank you all for taking the time to just sit with me for a moment. And I look forward to just sharing more thoughts, you know, my thoughts out loud with you. May the peace of the divine carry you and hold you and support you as you journey forward. Namaste.